Hey folks, today's episode is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. There are no hidden fees or price hikes, and all websites are optimized for mobile. And it's so simple. Start with a designed template and use drag and drop tools to make it your own. Head to squarespace.com/WTF for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use the offer code WTF to save 10% off your first purchase. Okay? All right, let's do the show.
Lock the gate!
All right, let's do this. How are you, what the fuckers, what the fuck buddies, what the fuck nicks, what the fuckadelics? What's happening? How's everybody doing? Are you okay? Are you? Be honest with me, because I am definitely not okay. I mean, I'm not really bad, but I'm not okay. I've had enough of this shit. I'm done with it. How many times have I said this over the last year? When is the year anniversary of lockdown? Soon, right? Any day now. God damn it, I want a vaccine. Look, today on the show, I talked to Jake Gyllenhaal. You know him from Donnie Darko, Brokeback Mountain, Nightcrawler. He's been doing more stage acting of late, and he's nominated for 3 Tony Awards this year. Great actor, that kid. Can I call him a kid? I think he's young enough. He's younger than me enough for me to call him a kid. I had no idea what to expect. I never do. And it turns out he didn't know what to expect out of me either. And it was a nice conversation. He's a nice fella, that Jake Gyllenhaal. Also, I'd like to give you a heads up. I just today, and I'm recording this yesterday, I talked to Eddie Murphy for an hour. I had Eddie Murphy's face right in front of mine on screen for an hour, and we hashed it out. We did the comic talk thing. We talked about the old days. We talked about doing the stand-up. We talked about Pryor. We talked about the movies. We talked about being a star. We did the talk, me and Eddie Murphy, and I got a beautiful, big laugh out of him right out of the gate. It's interesting with the Zoom and just in general. Actually, that's a good point, Marc. Why don't you talk about it? It's interesting because before the plague, when people would come to my house, which is what was required of them to do the show, was to come to my house, this house and the old house, is that I'd have that moment where I'd answer the door. I'd get there. If they came with people, I'd get them a soda or water or coffee or tea, let them use the restroom, have a little chit chat, not too much, but sort of get grounded or get connected in the way the two humans get connected for the 5 to 10 minutes before we get out here and get on the mic. So there's a lot of sort of small talk and, hey, how are yous? And what's going on? What was the drive like? What kind of shoes are those? Where are you at with that thing? Everything all right? A little of that. So there's some ice breakage going on. You ease into the conversation out here. That's how it was in the old days. But now with Zoom, it's a little tricky because, I get on and we make sure the tech is working all right. There's a few bits of chit chat and as people get set up, but usually you're kind of going in cold. And you don't know what the connection is going to hinge on, or whether there's going to be a connection, or whether things are going to start cooking, or whether things are going to just be kind of a trial. All that shit aside, when I'm doing the Zoom, I gotta figure out how to get in pretty quick. And I gotta be honest with you, it was very rewarding when Eddie Murphy got on, and I took a shot at his where he was sitting, and man, big laugh from Eddie, and it was exciting. But more than getting the laugh as a comic, which is great, it was that, okay, so now we can have this conversation. He knows I can do that. I'm not afraid. I'm a comedian. I made him laugh, and now he's like popped them open, and here we go. Broke the ice. Huh? That's what you use comedy for sometimes. Remember, you marginally funny people? Maybe to say a little funny thing. Got a little funny thing to say to break the ice? A little something? Got a little bit you do to break the ice? Do you? Folks, if you have 30 free minutes, you never have to worry about a break-in at home ever again. That is how quick and easy it is to set up a security system from Simply Safe. It's the kind of thing that's so easy to do, you can do it during a Netflix binge while watching a game or listening to a certain podcast. And they're not kidding about how fast it is to set up. It's always the number one reason we recommend Simply Safe, because we can vouch for how quick and easy it is to set up. Simply Safe is incredibly easy to customize for your home. Just go to simplysafe.com/WTF today. You can easily choose the exact sensors you need or get help from one of their experts. The whole package will get to your house in about a week, which means by this time next week, you and your whole family can go to bed knowing your home is being guarded. It's easy to assume everyone in your house already feels safe, but they might not, folks, and it's worthwhile to talk about it. Simply Safe is a small, easy step to make sure everyone feels safe at home. Go to simplysafe.com/WTF today to customize your system and get a free security camera. That's simplysafe.com/WTF today. All right? But you know what's amazing about this downtime, about this plague time, about, all the fucking, I'm fortunate that I'm not freaking out about money. I'm not freaking out about my health. I'm sad, but some things are in place. But you know what's amazing is that even though I'm working, I'm busy, but I'll tell you, I'm still putting stuff off. I mean, what is it? Almost been a year? I got shit in my house that I need to do and I want to do. Minor shit, little things, organizing rooms, going through shit, putting a thing up on the wall, doing that thing that needs to be done outside, getting that thing done in the garage, whatever the fuck it is. There's still a bunch of shit that I am putting off. How is that even fucking possible? That I'm going to get through a year of this and we're going to get back to some semblance of, social engagement, of being able to go do things. And I'm going to say, God damn it, why didn't I get that done? Right? Why didn't I get my office fucking set up at my house? Why didn't I get rid of all that shit? Why didn't I get rid of those books? Why didn't I get that switch put in the wall? Why didn't I fucking fix that goddamn thing in the garage? I'm going to get through a year of this and still have shit I haven't done. Why didn't I read all of those books that I have been putting off reading my entire life? Why didn't I fucking learn how to play chess? Why didn't I figure out how to become a baker? Why did I not create a rocket that we could all go up in and travel to outer space together in? Why didn't I cure COVID on my own? Why didn't I make a movie? Why didn't I write that script? How come my novel's not finished? What have I got to show for myself? I have a few pages and a small notebook. I wrote a song. I talked to some talented people. I processed my shit. But I did not learn how to bake a bread. Many people did. There's just some shit I'm still putting off. And then, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and beat the shit out of myself for that. You know why? Because that's what I do. That's part of my job. What do? I'm a clown and I kick my own ass. You? What the hell happened to Harold Heaven? Now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus, For Heaven's Sake, a true crime documentary series so mysterious, so puzzling, it can only be solved by two amateur detectives. In 1934, Harold Heaven vanished from his remote cabin in a small Canadian town. Police dredged the lake and searched the woods, but no body was ever found. Now, 87 years later, his great-grandnephew Mike Milden and Mike's best friend Jackson Rowe will attempt to solve this extremely cold case. Using the accounts of family members, tips from quirky locals, and a total lack of crime-solving skills, they'll scour this frozen Canadian wilderness for clues to Harold's disappearance. These two friends will go to hilarious lengths to investigate the many theories that have been part of the family lore for generations. Everything from drunken road workers to scheming land developers. Someone in this small town knows the truth about Harold, and these guys are determined to find it. The new crime documentary series, For Heaven's Sake, now streaming on Paramount Plus. Why didn't I learn Tai Chi during lockdown? Why didn't I read Gravity's Rainbow during lockdown? Why didn't I buy new sheets? Why is that light bulb still out for a year? Fucking hell, man. I think I'm getting a kitten. It seems like we're moving towards kittenness. For Buster. I'm saying it's for Buster. What if Buster doesn't like it? You know? I mean, Buster's kind of a bruiser. He's kind of a bully, that fucking cat. But I've decided that I should have two cats. Primarily for him to, you know, like, I can't tell you, man. Projecting onto pets is, especially now that I'm basically alone in the house, just sitting there looking at him like, what, you sad, buddy? Where you at? You bummed out? Are you mad at yourself that you didn't read Gravity's Rainbow during lockdown? Are you pissed off that you didn't finish that, scratching up that fucking couch? There's time, man. Are you mad that you've got a profound catnip problem and you're fucking half out of it all the time? Does that bother you? Are you sick? Do you need me to take you in? I can't tell you how many times in my life I've taken cats to vets where there's nothing fucking wrong, but what I think there's. I remember bringing Monkey to the vet once because I decided he wasn't shitting. And I brought him to the emergency vet because I decided it was problematic and he was going to somehow die from not shitting. And I brought him there, and as soon as they got him out of that cage and they put him on a table, he shit all over everything. So I guess taking him to the vet worked. It cost me probably $200 for him to shit all over the vet. But I've decided that Buster needs a friend, and I've got one lined up that I think I'm going to call Mingus. Why didn't I get a kitten during lockdown? It might happen. I had dreams about Lynn the other night, and they come and go. But I'm trying to relish in them and enjoy them as opposed to wake up sad. It's a challenge, but it is always good to see her. So Jake Gyllenhaal is nominated for 3 Tony Awards this year. One for Best Actor in a Play for his performance in Seawall, A Life. But he's also nominated as the producer of Seawall, A Life, and also Slave Play, which are both up for Best Play. This is what he's doing aside from starring in films. Aside from being a movie star, he's a theatrical producer and stage actor, and I talked to him. And we got to know each other. This is me and Jake Gyllenhaal.
My one issue is I'm going to take some very long pauses for dramatic intent and emphasis. And if you cut those fucking pauses, man.
No, man.
Because it's going to be a whole interview full of long pauses. So please just don't cut them. Every answer is going to be an ellipses filled thing for you. Just wait. You're going to be able to take a nap through most of it. So this is going to be cruise control for you, Mark.
Yeah, well, let me get comfortable. I got a pillow. I just, look, man, if you want to, you can edit this later. Let us know if the pauses weren't long enough, if you want Brendan to lengthen a pause. I was talking to Jodie Foster about, Fincher. I talked to him for like 2 hours, and like an hour or two after he talked to me, he's like, yeah, it wasn't good enough. Maybe don't put it out. Like, I feel like I could do better. Let's, I swear to God, man. So I'm sitting on this fucking Fincher interview with the assumption that someday we'll continue the conversation, and that was years ago.
You're not going to continue it. You're going to redo it.
I guess, right? Is that what's going to...
You're just going to
reshoot.
You're going to experience the exact same thing all over again.
I just shot a movie on film, and we did not have the luxury of takes.
Why did you do that?
I don't know, man. Look, it was the middle of COVID. Some director really wanted me to do this role, and he had 19 days to shoot a feature, and he was shooting on film. So it was like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, you had maybe 1 to 3 takes. That's it.
Well, there is something to that. I will say there is something to knowing there is a finite amount
Yeah.
with which they